Hi everyone, this is part 1 of an Inspector Calls in Among Us, and we are going to be playing as 4 of the characters in this part and the others in the next part. So the first one we're going to be looking at is an Inspector. Well, no, actually not an Inspector, the Inspector, Inspector Goole. And he's like the main one, and he's very strange. There are new roles, by the way, so this is the first time I played it, so it's going to be quite strange. It's not as easy as it was before. There's like scientist and a healer or something, I don't know. But yeah, we got crewmate, and we had a scientist. I don't know how that links to Inspector, but hey, confusion. And by the way, this is the first voice reveal of P-Juice. In case you never heard my voice, well, here you go. Yes, shocking. This probably doesn't sound, I don't know if this sounds right, but this might not sound like my voice at all. So anyway, back to the video. So this is the new map, Airship, and it's quite big. It's too big, really. And here's my character Inspector, just having a look round. And I accidentally took the same image twice, but hey, it's same quote, so if you need to revise quotes, there you go. So yeah, we then got the next imposter out, Pink, with my brilliant supervision as the Inspector, and that was end of game 1 with a victory with the Inspector. Alright, so now we're on to the second game, and this is Mr. Birling. He is the head of the household in the Birling family, and he is a businessman, as you can tell. Apparently he weighs quite a lot, but hey, some of them said that he does and some of them didn't. So this is unfortunately no evidence for Mr. Birling, because people didn't really like Mr. Birling and they said things I can't say, so yeah, thanks people, really appreciate it. Next up is Mrs. Birling. She's our third one today, and people really liked, well, not liked her actually, I take that back. People really had different opinions on her, let's say. Okay, so here we go. Mrs. Birling is now lime. I don't know why, but hey, she's lime now. And she's gonna go to, I don't know what that said, main hall or something, I don't know. And she's gonna go, she's just so lazy and obnoxious. She's not gonna do the lights, and she's so rude and impertinent, and that she decides to call an emergency meeting. And people really were interested in Mrs. Birling. They bullied her, and yeah, really went for her. Like, Winter really supported me and said, let Mrs. Birling speak. Shouldn't have done that, but hey, their own fault. Okay, now, so it's round 2, and Mrs. Birling surprisingly survived that without being voted out, and she's just going to do this new job, or like task, that's quite odd, but hey, Mrs. Birling nailed it, with this weird guy trying to follow me, and yeah, then there was another emergency meeting, and Mrs. Birling insulted the Inspector, and felt ashamed that Gray tried to correct Mrs. Birling, which was very rude, and Blue insulted us, saying that Sybil was sus, and Sybil was outraged by that, and then she was voted out. So that was the end of Sybil. Oh yeah, and by the way, Mrs. Birling is Sybil, if you didn't know. Sorry, just some background information. We now move on to the most important character, and she says quite a lot, and she's very moving and powerful. You ready? Edna. Edna really, really gives off a lot of her character, and it's great to analyse her. So it's really quite easy because you knew a lot about her in Inspector Calls. You'll get the joke if you know it. So, yeah, she got crewmate, which kind of fits her nicely in society, and she's just crewmate, she's nothing, which kind of fits in her in her context, and she's where she's supposed to be, in the kitchen, because she's a slave to Mr. and Mrs. Birling. Well, not really a slave, she's a maid, but hey. And all she says is an inspector is called, because that's her most important line. Yeah. And then Red said, vote Edna, which was quite insulting. What had Edna done? Poor Edna. And then Orange just said that, quite odd. But still, we won, but Edna was voted out, but I didn't show anything of that. So, yeah. Poor Edna, but at least we won. And it just shows how Edna's such an important character. Okay, so that was the end of part 1. Next part is going to be about the younger generation, and that's going to be called part 2. Actually, no, it's not. It's going to be called part 3. You all thought it was going to be called part 2, but you were wrong. I think part 3 sounds much better. So yeah, it sounds really cool, and that's going to be looking at the other 4. And this is, I don't know why, but English homework I had to do. It took me forever, because there's loads more I had to do with it. But yeah, I thought it looked really cool. No spoilers, hopefully. Thanks to Yoshi for making this for me. Really cool. Really like the Santa hat on it. And then also, I think coming up soon there should be one made by Beb. Credits to Beb who made this one. Really different, and they both made it, and I went with the Yoshi one because that looked cooler. But I think Beb's also looked really cool. So yeah. All I have to say is Merry Christmas, and if I don't make the next video out by 2021, see you in 2022.